Yeah, basically what we're doing, it's a really simple idea, born out of necessity. I come from a family of foodies, and we've all had an experience where you want to make a sherry trifle or a brandy sauce or, a cheese fondue, and you just need a little bit of alcohol, and you end up having to spend a fortune on a huge bottle that sits in your cupboard, gathering dust, you never use it. So we thought, why not rebrand alcohol so that it is more foodie friendly. It's available in spout pouches. You buy one, you use it once, maybe twice, throw it away. And it's as easy to buy as, you buy your herbs, you buy your spices, you throw your little bag of Just a Splash in, and you're ready to go.
And the spout pouches is a unique concept. Tell me why you decided to go in that direction.
Well, initially when we were thinking about this product, we thought maybe putting them in little glass bottles, but then we thought, that's kind of like just a miniature bottle of alcohol, and we really wanted to make it foodie friendly and something that feels like an ingredient. And so after some deliberation, we thought spout pouches were the way to go. It's more friendly, it's kind of, it's not going to break. So yeah, that's sort of how we went with it.
Apart from just being a cooking alcohol, how else do you feel that you're standing out from the crowd?
Well, first of all, our packaging, I think, is really, one of the reasons we won the Innovative Ingredient Award is that they said that our packaging cut through where other ingredient products might fall flat. If you buy a packet of basil or, some fruit or whatever, they don't come in, cool little pouches and whatnot. We wanted to do something that was really fresh, very innovative, and also, each one of them has a recipe on the back. So for us, cooking with alcohol, because alcohol is mostly, used for drinking, most of the big alcohol companies brand their bottles for consumers who are going to go drink it.
Please tell me about the development process.
So when we started out, we're like, okay, well, let's buy alcohol from various, alcohol suppliers, repackage it, and send it out. And we ran into a lot of challenges, particularly with things like port or sherry and marsala, because you're dealing with the port authority in Portugal and the marsala, people in Italy. So it's been very difficult to try to figure out how we're going to do this. How do we get this into because there's regulations involved. So it's been very challenging, but we've kind of, with every obstacle, we've found a solution for that. And so now we have a product that's entirely fit for purpose. It's formulated specifically for cooking. So it's got slightly lower ABV, which I think actually enhances the flavors, brings out the flavors of the food rather than being flooded with the taste of alcohol.
And you could see that some people might be put off with cooking alcohols, that the ABV might be too high, exactly, and therefore take away from the taste.
Exactly, and this is just perfect. So it's, I'm not sure if you've had a sample yet, but we've got these great Just a Splash chefs cooking, and you can really taste that, the alcohol does, the flavor is there, but it doesn't leave you with that really strong alcohol taste. Absolutely.
And looking forward to the future then, what's next for Just a Splash?
Well, we've had so much great feedback from the show and also from getting the FoodBev Awards. Right now we're just sort of figuring out the best strategy for us in terms of distribution, and obviously these need to be in retail stores. They need to be right next to the herbs and the spices. So yeah, it's just going back, sifting through the giant piles of leads that we've got and figuring out kind of the best way forward.
It's going to be a whirlwind couple of days. Pia, thank you so much. And let's talk about what you're showcasing here today. Talk about the flavors and products on offer.
Yeah, so we have a product range of 6 products altogether. We have 3 spreads. All of our spreads are called boosters. So we've got our Super Boost, which has got 6 nuts and 4 seeds in it. And what makes our spreads so different and so unique is they all have very unique ingredient combinations and flavors and textures. So we're not talking, your average conventional crunchy peanut butter, whereas, ours is something very, very special and very different. So our 6 nut and 4 seed butter is a very smooth blend of nuts and seeds, and then you've got really nice big chunks of roasted nuts that sort of give you, a nice nutty flavor as you chew through. And then we have a cacao blend, which we call Cacao Boost. It's got high oleic peanuts from Argentina, which have a similar composition in terms of fatty acids to olive oil, so very, very good for you. And we mix them with organic cacao nibs and chia seeds. And here you get the texture from whole cacao nibs. So again, it's not, the texture that you would expect from a nut butter. And the nut butter that we just recently launched is our Tiger Boost. So don't worry, there's no tiger in it because all our spreads are registered with the Vegan Society, but it contains tiger nut flour. So we have a cashew base with Brazil nuts, sunflower seeds, tiger nut flour, and toasted coconut chips, and that's where the crunch comes from. So again, something very different to what you can find on the shelf at the moment.
And the ingredients that you're using in your nut butters, as you say, they're different to anything else that's on the store shelves at the moment. Do you think that that makes you stand out from the crowd, and how important is it to do that in an already established marketplace?
It does make us it does make us stand out from the crowd, but on the other hand, I think people just need to try it. We need to get our product in front of many people as we can, because people just need to try it in order to learn how good it is. Because sometimes, because it's got so many ingredients, very complex flavors, and different textures, some people sort of shy away from it a little bit and go for what they know, which is almond butter, peanut butter, etc., etc. But once they tried it, they really never look back. I mean, we never had. And I mean, I can say that with all my heart, we've never had a negative response from anyone. They really, really love it.
And what's next for Jake's Boost?
Jake's Boost is actually launching a crowdfunding campaign on the 1st of May. Our project is going onto Up Effect, which is a social enterprise crowdfunding platform, because we're a social enterprise. We give 5% of our profits to childhood food poverty charities. And it will launch on the 1st of May, so everyone who would like to support us and who would like to try our products for a very good price can buy our products on the crowdfunding platform as a reward. We've put together some really, really nice rewards for people who love our products, who are interested in our products, and we hope to raise £10,000 to do our very sort of first big production run.
Well, as you know, we won Best New Concept, so that kind of says everything of how we see our sort of category. It's pioneering. What it's all about is very simply, all recipes, 90% start with the peeling, the chopping, the slicing, dicing, sweating down of onions. So, when kind of people are a bit sort of time pressed, a bit short, feeling a bit lazy, just occasionally you grab Joe and plop, in you go, and it's job done. The interesting bit about the product is that we've managed to retain, without adding anything, the sweetness by using a certain amount of temperature, because it's only the temperature that changes the flavour of a raw onion from the rather harsh thing that you eat into a rather sweet thing, which is the caramelization as they turn brown gently in the pan. So we've managed to achieve that while adding nothing to it. So Onion Joe is 99%, according to our label, onion juice and 1% lemon. But the lemon is actually only in there to kind of reduce or change the pH level, but you can't detect its flavour, but it is totally natural.
Tell me about the development process.
The development process starts, well, as I said, 3 in the morning, I wake up and I've had an idea, and there it is. And when we're going to, juiced onions. As with everything, to get a product to be able to sort of, put onto the supermarket shelves and be there, there are standards you've got to achieve, the shelf life you've got to achieve, there's production techniques you've got to adhere to. So because I know all of that, I know which path to sort of set off on. So, in that sense, that's where a bit of experience comes in. I knew there was, getting onion juice, processing it, and then you're waiting a long time. Although this is so simple, it's taken a long time because you want to see how it's reacting after 6 months, 9 months. You want to keep extending that shelf life, and that only comes with time. You can have a guess of what onions are going to do, but no one's done this before. So it's a very slow process, and it wasn't an intense process because it was so slow. That in many ways enabled me to sort of develop the brand and the work that I did with my colleague Neil, and to get it all right.
You mentioned shelf life. At the moment it has, I believe, 7 months. Do you aim to increase that?
I have got samples lying around that I produced probably 2 years ago, and I haven't had them tested, but I guarantee they would pass. Now, the point is that you actually can only test the product that is actually going to be produced in the location that is going to go onto the shelves and through the same bottling process. So the answer to your question is we are at 7 months now, because this juice here in these bottles was produced in July of last year. with every passing month, we'll reanalyze and keep adding those months to it. Because obviously for export, you've got a container sitting for, maybe 2 months, while you've got a few weeks shipping, say, across the Atlantic, and then you've got security checks, and they've got to sit on the quayside for another 8 weeks or 6 weeks, whatever it is. So we're aware that the longer that shelf life, although once opened, it's only a few weeks, we need to keep extending it.
Let's look to the future.
Yep.
What's next for you, and how can the brand grow?
The biggest challenge, and I've learned that from this show, is for example, if you were to put it onto a shelf in a store, if you were to put it online somewhere, the problem is no one's going to find you, because it's not like saying, right, I want to go and look for red sauces to use, with fish or chips or burgers or something, because you just type in a few keywords and you'll see a whole array of red sauces, or you go to the red sauce shelf. The biggest challenge with Joe is simply no one knows that such a product exists, so no one is going to go looking for it. The biggest challenge is simply now going to be awareness. We know our costings are right, we know the margins are there, we know everyone is going to be happy with the business side of things, from top to bottom, from retailer down to customer. We know that we can do the promotions, we know everything's right, other than the work that we're going to have to put in just getting the awareness. So again, you doing this now is a great help, and the awareness, and that, but just got to keep at that, so that people eventually, I hope in 2 years' time, they go, well, of course I've got Onion Joe, I've got Jiffy Lemon sitting in the back of my cupboard, but Joe I use, kind of when it goes. And so that's the thing, it's just letting people know something exists that doesn't, because it didn't last week.